So if we have Arkessin's Faber, we would have the summoning craftsman, right? Not a craftsman who's being summoned, but a craftsman who is summoning someone, right? Calling someone to him. If we have Faber Arkessitus, or Arkessitus Faber, we would have the craftsman having been summoned. Alright. So then.
Don't you need a comma?
Yes, probably. Good call. Okay. So then, present active participle, we have this summoning craftsman. Man. Some other kind of participle, we have the craftsman having been summoned. Let's look at this. Summoning is, we said, present tense, right? Present tense means it happens when?
Now.
Now. Excellent. Faber Arkessitus. What word and what word part do we see in this that help us identify what tense this is? Having been is interesting, but having been, have we had having been in any of the tenses we've dealt with so far?
Summoned.
Summoned. So when we see summoned, is there anything in summoned that pops out? ED. What did ED come with? What tense is that? Perfect. Right? Now, if we wanted pluperfect, what word would we be looking for? What would we be looking for in English?
Had.
Had, right? But there's no had here. Is having the same as had? No, it's related. They come from the same root word, but they aren't the same. So it is a perfect participle. Now, to introduce you to this concept, let's look at this. If we say, the craftsman summoning his helpers did something, that would be Arkessins, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so in the sentence, the craftsman summoning his helpers built a wall. Who is summoning who? The craftsman, and he's summoning... Should I write these all out? Is anyone paying attention at all? Emily is, thank you. Alright guys. Alright. Really quickly, honestly. Okay. So, this is active. If I said the craftsman summoning his helpers built a wall, who's summoning who?
The craftsman
Is summoning the workers and the helpers, right? So, the craftsman is active. He is performing the action of the participle, right?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, well over here, we say the craftsman having been summoned. Is the craftsman doing the summoning? No, he's no longer doing the action. Huh. It's passive. This is what's called the perfect passive participle.
She did. I said it like 8.
Perfect passive participle. Now then, has anyone been paying close enough attention over the last week or so to be able to tell me how to form the perfect passive participle?
No.
Sorry.
What? It is. The perfect passive participle is really easy. It is. It's really easy if you've been learning your vocabulary. If you haven't, then here is another spot where not learning your vocabulary is going to hurt you. The perfect passive participle, and this one we're going to want to write down. Is the fourth principal part of the verb.
Mine's 12 and boys.
It's pretty straightforward. Now then, people have been asking me so sometimes I'll give you a vocabulary sheet that will say something like laudo, laudare, laudavi. Why did I choose such a long word? Laudatus, right? And then we'll go on and we'll do the vocabulary PowerPoint. Instead of saying laudatus, it will say laudatum. And people will say, what? That's wrong, isn't it? I have had people point that out, even in this class. Shocking, I know.
At least he doesn't like us three, and then he likes them too. I think he likes all of them.
26.
All right. I'll try to be less transparent in the future, Alice.
If I ever get to save someone, I'm gonna be like, save them, and I'm gonna pull out my phone and be like, subject is saved. The day is blank, the year is blank, and the time is blank. And then just leave.
Is that in any way relevant to?
What?
Nobody knows what you're talking about.
All
I'm
right.
gonna pretend I'm a time traveler.
Okay. All right. So, sorry for being sidetracked, everybody.
I just make the class more.
If we have laudatus and we have laudatum, and I say they're both correct, why are they both correct? How can they both be correct? What is going on here?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Something boring
Different gender.
called Latin.
You're wrong. What is a participle?
It's a thing.
It's a verb
It's
thing.
an adjective.
Adjective verb.
Okay. And what do we know about adjectives? How many forms? Well, we don't know how many forms adjectives have, because there are different kinds of adjectives, right?
Yeah, it's a verb.
But if I said that laudatus and laudatum were correct, and I were then to tell you there's also another possible correct form, another form you could put here, you might know what that would be.
How do we say it?
Laudat what?
Really like you kind of. No, Chris Fisher. Him? No.
Okay. So, laudatus, laudatum, laudata. These are all possible things you can enter in this fourth principal part slot. Why is that? Why can you do all those? Why are those all correct?
Because
Adjective.
It's an adjective, right? So if you wanted to write out your perfect passive participle
Which nobody
in its
does.
full adjective form, adjectival form, you would say it's laudatus, laudata, laudatum. All right. Well, with present active participles, remember present active participles, laudans, laudantis, yeah? I told you that present active participles are always third declension. Yeah, third declension adjectives. Anyone want to draw any conclusions from what I've just told you about perfect passive participles? Why?
Passively
Not
perfect
true.
participle.
No. Present active participles are always third declension.
I did just say that.
Yes, present perfect passive participles. I'm going to continue writing out in meaningful detail.
Mr. Lawson,
Yes.
why did you write laudare twice?
Because I'm silly.
How did nobody notice that?
Thank you.
I just did.
I know, but how did I not?
All right. Perfect passive participles are always. This is actually a solid rule. It's not going to change. They are always first and second declension adjectives. So we've finally figured out how to use that fourth principal part of the verb. Now let's talk about how they translate, because it's kind of weird. And then we'll talk briefly about ah. We'll move on.
Wait a second.
That's not my best handwriting, is it? Which is saying something. Okay.
Do you have a best?
Well, it's better than that.
Hi there, glad to see you downloaded the app.
You're
So
sorry, then just don't say
I'm just going to start writing PPP because, man, that takes a lot of writing.
Yeah.
Perfect passive participles translate as having been blanked. If someone came up to you and they said, the car having been parked is in the parking lot, does that seem like natural, good English to you?
No. I would probably look
It
at
sounds like they're a little bit creepy.
It sounds like they're a little creepy. But you know what it means, right? Like, it makes sense.
No.
No? Okay. Okay.
I
Well,
do, but I don't like
all right. All right. So
Artistic.
What is that? Show me.
frequently, you can just translate it as blanked. Not always. If you want to be perfectly correct, it's always safest to say having been blanked. Okay. So, for those of you who didn't get having been blanked, when I say the car having been parked, I mean somebody parked the car and now it's over there. When I say the craftsman having been summoned, I mean somebody summoned the craftsman and the craftsman's now doing something. Yeah, the summoned craftsman, the parked car. Right?
The summoned craftsman is a parked car?
Basic.
We are going to have plenty of opportunity to practice it. Alright, so that's how that's going to translate, and we're going to practice it. We're going to figure that out in more detail. There's something else I want to do today, so we won't kill ourselves with that.